Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. What's up, you guys? As per usual, it's going to be about 10 minutes or so before we kick off. So if you are not in the live video and you are watching this after the fact, feel free to skip ahead to about 10 minutes or so. Otherwise, we're just going to be doing some updates and some rambling and whatnot. First, you nailed it. How's it going, Nikki? Haven't seen you in the room in a while. Oh, I forgot to crack open the gin. Shalom, what up? Shalom, shalom. Islay. Oh man, where's my knife at? How you guys doing? Did you guys have a good weekend? We're just chilling. Yeah, shit. I feel like I've been really busy too. Fortunately for me, though, busy is YouTube and other such fun things for the most part. But, yeah, I was gonna do another live reading, but then I was like, I think about doing something else. So it's ended up being, well, whatever you guys want. Do a reading. We can wait till there's a couple more people in here. Till there's about 15 or so, but that might take a while. 10 or 15, we'll see. Chakras and Chasers. Nice, that's a cool name. How's it going? Hola. Hola, ¿cómo estás? We got some new Man of Letters gin. You guys can't see how cool it is because it's in reverse. Great evening, Salavi. Great evening. BR, hello, hello. No juice tonight. Just, ooh, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Decided to step up my Man of Letters game and get us, Oh, damn, a music night? Oh, that would be even better, but all my music equipment is at the, we have rehearsal tomorrow night, so I left it all at the studio. Fuck, tonight is a great night for music, too, but alas, none of my equipment is here. Damn, I knew I should have brought that equipment back. Rasta pasta? That's funny. Oh, nice, that's cool. It shows in reverse for me. That's amazing. I'm glad to know that. Gin is strong enough to make a tincture? Gin is absolutely strong enough to make a tincture. This is 46% alcohol, which is definitely enough to make a tincture. I would argue that gin is a tincture. This one in particular has 22 different botanicals harvested from this wind-swept wasteland of Islay Island off of the northeast coast. Drink responsibly. It's called The Botanist, too. Very fitting. You're drinking gin, too? What a coincidence. Nice. Well, cheers. Gin is primarily juniper. I mean, this one has 22 different botanicals in it, but generally speaking, juniper makes gin. And then citrus, orange in particular, is a popular ingredient to add. If they make gin in California, they like to use pomelos and grapefruit to add with the gin instead of orange. The gin they make on the East Coast, like Florida, for example, they use oranges. But it depends a lot where you're coming from. Like this one comes from the Northeast, so there's like elderberries in it. I'm not even sure what else, just a hell of stuff. from the hills, shores, and bogs of this fertile. It's awesome. It's like a Lord of the Rings gin. Iris root, angelica root. Yeah, I'm not like a gin snob, although I would like to be. But in due time. So it'd be nice to see you. By the way, it's been a while since you've been in the room. Nice. I hope you've been doing well. BR, nice to see you. Cool. I'm gonna have to talk to him later. Sorry, my brother called me. I think it might have cut the live out. But I feel like there was a whole bunch of updates I was gonna tell you guys, and I can't remember any of them now. So what are you guys thinking? Should we could do like a Q&A? We could do like a freestyle. I've been getting a lot of questions pertaining to the book and random Hermetic philosophy stuff and Emerald Tablet stuff. So it's easier to answer those questions in a live. So I thought maybe we could do a live if you guys had more questions. Or we could do more live readings of the Kabbalion or Emerald Tablets or my book. I think that's it. Hi, Dark Moon. How's it going? Had a family in town, 9-month-old without a child-proof home. Ooh, that must have been dangerous. What's up, Lady B? Yeah, little Atlas will be here in just a couple of weeks, you guys. We'll be doing a birth vlog in the next probably 17 to 18 days. Dr. Flamingo, negative ghostwriter. I am not. But I'll take that as a compliment. Josephine, Coob, glad you made one finally. Oh, thanks, Doctor. Appreciate that. Anywho. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Alicia. You guys are too much. I would be blushing right now, but I'm just, you can't see the blush through the darkness. Peace, Terry Simmons. Nice to see you, man. It's been a while. Nice to see a bunch of the whole squad up in here. I know. What's 9, 10, 11? Yeah, you're about to be pushing midnight pretty soon. Alright. Reading Lady B. Find that in order for me to be creative and always copy people, and it's hard for me to pull creativity from myself. Is that normal? Alright, so Lady B has got a question for me. She's asking that, she says, I find that in order for me to be creative, I always have to copy people, and it's hard for me to pull creativity from myself. Is that normal? Yes, absolutely, it's normal. I don't know who the hell said it, but there's a quote in the music industry, and it goes something like, good artists create and great artists steal. So don't at all worry about if you're, I mean, if you're copying someone's ideas verbatim, like, you know, you have to exercise good creativity. But But there's also, so there's something in psychology called the um, adjacent possibilities, which means it's actually a term in that inventors use. It's called the adjacent possible. I think it's the adjacent possible. And what that means is once someone invents something, it opens up a whole another world of inventions that weren't possible until that one invention. I know this is not quite like you, but similar. Um, so, for example, someone invents the engine, right? And because they invent the combustion engine, you now have cars, you have trains, you have boats, you have airplanes, um, power generators. So there's from one invention, everyone jumps on the bandwagon for that one invention and creates a whole bunch of other things. It's called the adjacent possibility. Um, so if you feel like you are always coming up with ideas that aren't yours and it's driving you crazy, you can just utilize that and whatever you're into, look at something that someone has created or invented that you really like and think of how you can spin it and make it your own, which is 99 times out of 100, I would say what everyone does. Very rarely do you get someone that invents something completely off the wall. And when they do invent something completely off the wall, it's usually so foreign to the population that they don't even accept it. And it doesn't become a thing for another 100 years or after they die or some shit like that. So it's completely normal to have your ideas and things be, or at least feel like they're coming from somewhere else. Um, as long as you're being chill about it and making it your own, then I wouldn't worry about it at all. At least that's how I see it. Oh, what's up, pops? My dad's in here. Hey, Dad. Ricky keeps calling me and texting me, but I can't because I'm on a live. You should shoot him a text and tell him um, that I'm on live. Lady B, I'm not necessarily creative on my own. Um, like the audiobooks that I create, for example, everyone's making audiobooks, right? So I took that people were making audiobooks and that people were listening to them. So here's what I do whenever I want to create something. Um, I look at how many people are already doing it and what the response is to. Well, first it's something that I like, and also I check have a check mark. Is it something I like? Yes. Is there a lot of people doing it? Yes. Because if there's not a lot of people doing it, that means there's not a lot of need for it. And if there's not a lot of need for something, then I usually won't do it. So, do I like it? Is there a need for it? And then I take the most wanted, or I take the most popular thing from that genre, and I say, okay, how can I make this my own? So, I like reading and occult and spirituality and like magic and hidden shit. So I found the Emerald Tablets. And then I checked, are there a lot of people reading the Emerald Tablets? And I looked, and there's millions of views on Emerald Tablet videos. So I'm thinking, perfect. There's a need for Emerald Tablets. And then I go, what's the most famous one? And so I go on there, and the audiobooks are some of the most famous search results for the Emerald Tablets. So I go, perfect. I love reading to myself and out loud. I love the text. I love ancient Egypt. I love everything about it. There's a huge need for it. And what I did to make it my own was I made my own music for the background. So the piano scores are the original content that I made. So I basically, that wasn't all me. I wasn't like one day, oh my God, I'm going to do this and it was a hit. Like, no, I researched what everyone else was doing. So I kind of stole in that sense. But then I said, how could I make this my own? And then I did that by adding music, because there's not many audiobooks on YouTube that have music added to them. Um, so yeah, that's what I mean. Great artists will steal, but make it their own. Um, in any field, painting or music, architecture, philosophies, even religions, even they're all, you know, built on the predecessors and modified for a particular niche. Josephine, I hope you're hanging. I hope you're hanging strong. Oh, Ricky, what's up? Yeah, you guys do have the same. Has it been you the whole time? You guys both go by Richard Garcia on YouTube. It's really confusing. Everyone say what's up to my brother Richard Garcia, but you can call him Ricky because I call him Ricky. So I hope I answered your question there, Lady B. But yeah, Kit. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, but KC King asks, where should I start with this journey for a breakthrough? Metaphysics or magic or law of attraction or laws of the universe or binaural beats? Ooh, that's a damn good question. And I've got a damn good answer for you. No, the whole family is not on here. Richard Garcia and my dad have the same name. So I thought it was my dad, but it's just my brother. Hold on, let me fix something real quick. Damn, it's been you the whole time? What the hell? That's fucking bad funny. Great. Oh, the Brothers Garcia. There used to be a TV show called The Brothers Garcia. I am mind you was drinking tequila and wine. Well, Josephine, we got some real top shelf bougie ass gin. So, hold on. Let me answer this question by K.C. King. Do the Hermetic philosophy. I actually just made a video on the law of attraction this morning, and the title of the video is called The 3 Reasons Why I Will Never Teach the Law of Attraction. And it's just a whole bunch of cold hard truths about it. Don't start with the law of attraction is good to like funnel people, but it's good for inspiration and like really cool one-liners and like a pick-me-up short term, but it's not. Look up the Hermetic philosophy. Everything I teach on my channel, everything. The book I wrote about, the Kabbalion, one of my favorite audiobooks that I made on my channel, is the Hermetic philosophy. It's the 7 principles that govern existence, from your mind, from the physical world to the immaterial world. It's gold, and regardless if you're studying like paganism or shamanism or any of the Abrahamic religions like Judaism, Islam, Christianity, or Buddhism, Hinduism, all of it, Tao, all of the religions and waves of spirituality draw from these 7 principles of the Hermetic philosophy. But what I like about it so much and why I recommend it over anything else is because it's not a religion and it's not spirituality. It's a philosophy. And what makes it nice that it's a philosophy is that it doesn't have dogma, right? Dogma are laws, or not even laws. Dogma are beliefs and ideologies that are passed down from generation to generation and are taken as truths without actually studying or asking why or where did these come from or why do I believe this. It's just regurgitated information. And when you get into spirituality, you get a lot of regurgitated information, just like with religions and Christianity and Islam. All religions have things that you just have to accept as truth, and that's a dogma. But when you get into philosophies, there is no dogma. There's just critical thinking and a acknowledgement of patterns in the natural world and within yourself, and you utilize those patterns in order to make your life better. If you want to be a spiritual person, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a teacher, if you want to be a fucking gardener, if you want to play video games, like, it doesn't matter. That's the beauty of the Hermetic philosophy, is that it's just mechanisms for existence. bottom line. So to answer your question, the Hermetic philosophy, where the Kabbalion is perfect, that was probably the most concise, most, what's the word? The most bang for my buck, basically. It was written in 1911 by the three initiates. They don't know who these three initiates are. They just called themselves the three initiates. And that's what I wrote my book on. So again, with me, when I wrote my book, I didn't come up with the content of my book. My book is based on the Hermetic philosophy. I took those same 7 principles, plugged them into my book verbatim. The only change I made was that I used modern science and psychology to verify those truths. So in 1911, they used 1911 facts to prove this. And now I wrote my book in 2014, I think, and now I'm just using quantum physics to back up the same truths so that it's a little more modern. And to the rest of you, also, I would highly suggest the Hermetic philosophy. I have an audiobook for free on my YouTube channel called The Kabbalion. I discuss all the 7 laws in detail also on my YouTube channel for free. And if you like to read, which is probably the best way to learn things, at least in my opinion, the best way to learn something is to read it, like, out of a book and to take notes and shit. That you can also find on Amazon. You just look up my name, Keith Garcia, 7 Pillars. And that's that. But let me, I haven't, you guys have been commenting all kinds of comments and I haven't been reading them. But I'll catch up with them right now. I can't stand the LOA. No, I hate on the law of attraction fucking constantly. Yeah, it's been commercialized to hell, but uh-oh. Did the screen freeze? I feel like the screen. Is the screen good? Am I still here? Yeah, I hate on the law of attraction. 1, because I can be a hater, and 2, I don't. Like, I understand that everyone talks about the law of attraction, again, because it's a hot topic and there's a need for it. Just like I was talking about, you should go for the need. But people just literally say the same exact information, like, word for word, and it doesn't. And half the time, it doesn't make sense. Like, if like attracted like, then if you put 2 positive sides of a magnet together, they would attract to each other, but they don't. 2 positive sides of a magnet actually repel each other. So what does that say about like attracts like? You know what I mean? It's oversimplified, underdeveloped, underexplained. There's so much, you guys. It goes pretty deep, and it goes a lot deeper than like attracts like. Yeah, it's cause and effect. See, but the thing, remember I was saying about the Hermetic philosophy? Cause and effect is one of the 7 principles, but that's what I mean. There's the mental universe, which is 1 principle. There's correspondence, which is the 2nd. There's vibration, which is the 3rd, which is closest to law of vibration. And then there's polarity, there's rhythm, there's cause and effect, and there's gender. And they all are work symbiotically, synergistically, to explain the patterns of the universe and explain how and why things operate the way they do. And they don't give you the answers, right? They don't tell you, this will solve all your problems. It says, this is how you solve your problems. It doesn't, I think I wrote about this in my book. I say it much nicer in the book, but it's like, it doesn't open the door for you and take you into your paradise. It gives you the tools so that you can build your own door into whatever paradise you want to go in, and then you go through the door. But they're just tools, right? You have to learn how to use the tools and then get good at using the tools so that you can build a good door. Because your door could come out like shit at first, right? Or it could come great. You could get lucky and pull it off on your first try. But it takes practice, it takes knowledge. Um, yeah. I'm trying to catch up on your guys' comments over here. Um, KC King, you had another question for me. I'm going to back pocket that real quick. Um, Dark Moon, I'm glad the channel could help you. But please don't take my channel for verbatim. Definitely do your own research. And remember, I'm interpreting a text. The things that I teach on my channel, I'm reading a philosophy. I'm interpreting the philosophy based on what I study and my own experiences, and then I'm giving you guys a distilled version of that. So again, it's best if you read the philosophy and you make your own interpretations based on your own experiences. That's going to be the best way for it to make sense and for your world to make sense, if that makes sense. Oh, you got the dream journal unlocked, Josephine? Nice. I know I haven't been doing too much on the lucid dreaming. But yeah, I'm glad you picked up on the dream journal because most people haven't been. Most people have been emailing me and messaging me and saying, why? Like, I'm not lucid dreaming, and I'm like, how's the dream journal going? And they say, I'm not keeping a dream journal. I'm like, why the fuck not? Are you keeping a dream journal? That's the biggest thing you can do for dreams. Oh, Gaia, what up? Haven't seen you in here in a while either. Hope you're doing well. Ooh, Dread Life 420. Hey, Dread Life 420. If you're still in here, my dad and I were watching one of your videos at work the other day. They were pretty dope. I didn't realize you actually had a YouTube channel. My bad, man. I would have subscribed a while ago. If anyone wants to donate to the Repair My MacBook cause, that would be wonderful. My fan's broken or something, and the fan turns on at full speed, and it's super loud. That's what the hum is. Yeah, Salavi Studio. Law of attraction is not the same as law of vibration. It's of all the laws in the Hermetic philosophy, it's the closest to it, but it's not the same. Law of attraction would be better explained as resonance, which I think someone, yeah, Lady B, you brought it up. You don't attract, you resonate, exactly. Um, oh, Gaia, I'm glad that we were able to be that you stay out right this interpretation not set in stone for the only way. My bad, you guys. I'm all over the place right now. Dreadlife 420? Yeah, I mean, I didn't look at your whole channel, Dreadlife. I just saw one video, and what was super legit was just how you carried yourself on the channel. You looked and felt supernatural. Like I said, my dad and I were watching you at lunch. I think we're at Chuck E. Cheese. Um, yeah, so no, dude, you're good. By the way, Ricky, if you're still listening, thanks for the tip. Appreciate that. Very helpful, because I don't register everything all the time. I look at anger and hating as expelling internal negative energy, not drawing more hate. That's interesting. I wouldn't know. That's a tough one to say. Some free entertainment things here is. Glad I helped, Casey King. Glad I helped. Cool. Are we good on the? Anything I missed? Anything I missed, y'all? Yeah, Dreadlife 420 is on the tube game. It was good. It was nice, actually. My dreams are a way to take care of dream. Make sense of them. Have I told you guys the biggest thing about lucid dreaming? You might have seen it in the video, but the biggest thing, there's 20 people watching this video in the room right now. And if only one of you grasps this, it will be phenomenal. All right. The biggest thing about lucid dreaming that no one ever talks about is your dreams represent subconscious aspects of yourself. All the characters and circumstances within your dream space represent different subconscious elements. So if we are able to become conscious in our dream, it's like being able to see your wiring firsthand. And being able to manipulate that wiring. So when you have a conversation with a character in your dream, you're having a conversation with an aspect of yourself. You can ask the dream character what they represent, and they will tell you every time. They will tell you what they represent. Now, some could argue some of your dream characters are actually entities, like nightmares, for example, or that's a whole different topic. But I want to push on people, or what I would like to break into as far as lucid dreaming is becoming so efficient at lucid dreaming that it's like you're doing therapy on yourself and getting years of therapy done and a week's worth of lucid dreaming. The same way that they talk about how psychedelics and ayahuasca is like going to therapy overnight. And no one's ever talking about that. Flying is great. Visiting crazy worlds is great. But if you can rewire habits, rewire energy centers in your body, learn, why you have reactions the way you do, or learn what from your past triggered what event, or you've had back problems your whole life, and where did that come from? Is that a trauma, an emotional trauma that's stored in the body through the somatic lens? Who knows? But unless we can become conscious in our dreams, we can't actually start manipulating our subconscious mind. So that's it. That's my area of lucid dreaming that I want to tap into, is not only learning from your dreams in the waking life, but actually doing work in the dream world. Musical mood ring. Nice. One of the Patreon supporters this year. Hell yeah. You guys should all say what's up to Musical Mood Ring. She's been holding it down on Patreon for quite some time now. And Isha too. Good evening. Yeah, Silabi Studio. So Silabi Studio, that's the hack for journaling. Is keep a piece of paper and a pen next to your bed, and you don't have to write your whole dream down. Just wake up and like, oh my god, football, high school, lights, coaching, and that's it. And when you wake up, like, oh, it'll all start coming back. It'll all start coming back. And Amoros, Amun, use your nightmares to go lucid. That was the first time I went lucid, was in a nightmare. One of the characteristics of my nightmares is that I know I'm having a nightmare, but I can't wake up. I think because Freddy Krueger used to scare the hell out of me as a kid. So I thought to myself, shit, if the whole goal of lucid dreaming is becoming conscious in your dream, and part of my nightmares is I know I'm dreaming, but I can't wake up, then I'll just use that to my advantage. That same night, I had a nightmare, and I thought, oh shit, that's right, I'm having a nightmare, I'm dreaming, and then boom, I slammed into my body first person and had a full-on lucid dream. It was the fucking wildest, it was the wildest thing. But yeah. Yeah, Josephine, you gotta ask people questions. You know what I did for the first time the other day? I convinced a dream character that they were dreaming. No, I convinced a dream character that they were a part of my dream and they freaked out. It was weird. It was really cool. Um, my computer's going crazy again. I gotta. Sleep waking up and a sleep walking away and writing. I've been waking up in a sleep walking away and writing. Slavi, I'm not sure your question. What do you mean? How do I experience lucid dreaming? I'm not sure what you mean by that. And Sen, I didn't know you were in here. Nice to see you. Josephine, yeah, I not always 4 pages, but when I'm on it, I can have about 4 pages. But it's because I remember 4 or 5 dreams a night, which is really amazing. Freddie, damn, Glidden professional. Um, yeah, Casey King. I dream about football not all the time, but football and baseball I played growing up. Well, baseball I played, football I played only for a couple years. But I still dream about those at least once, twice a month. I have dreams. Last night I had a dream. I was I was a tailback in high school, and I was a coach at my high school teaching the tailbacks how to run, and it was actually kind of a cool dream. Um, what the hell else is running? Come on, give me a break. Save. Oh. You can shift your subconscious by changing habits, but here's the thing: if you can shift your subconscious by changing habits, then you should be able to change your habits by shifting your subconscious. And this is what I didn't say very well when I described why I want to study lucid dreaming, is because a lot of people try to change who they are with their waking life. Like, say you have a problem with smoking, so you try to change your habits of smoking, who you hang out with, things that remind you of smoking, you try to cut out the triggers to cut out smoking, which helps. But if you could go into this, which changes your subconscious, but if you can go into your subconscious during your dreams and ask, why are you addicted to smoking? What do you get out of smoking? How can you fix this? While speaking to the framework of your mind, and you were able to change that, then that would change your waking life, right? Because the external world is a reflection of the interior, but they both go off of each other. You can change the interior by changing the circumstances, right? But you can also change the circumstances by changing the interior. As above, so below. They both act on each other, but we have more control over ourselves. That's the thing. We have more control over our thoughts, over our actions, more so than we have control over other people's thoughts and other people's actions. So this is why they say start with yourself. Start with yourself, because it all starts within, because the origin is from self. It ends up outside. Oh no, that's not lucid dreaming, Slavi. That's just straight up you're a wizard. Yeah, so Slavi Studio says, sometimes my dreams come true. I dreamt of giving birth to a baby boy before I was pregnant and living in that house. Is that lucid dreaming? That's not lucid dreaming. You're just a gangster, wizard, sightseer, future seer, shaman woman. Yeah, that's that. Lucid, when I say lucid dreaming, for the most part, my dreaming is almost third person, like I'm witnessing myself doing something. Almost third person meaning I'm looking down at myself, you know, like a video game. First person is you're looking through your own eyes. Third person is you're looking at yourself. Dreaming mostly for me is third person, but when I go lucid, I'm third person and I almost can see myself slam into the back of my body and look through my own two eyes, and the dream becomes real. I can smell things. I can feel the texture of the floor underneath my feet. I can see the edges and corners. I see the beginnings and ends. It's like I'm existing in a real world. And I know I'm dreaming. Like I'm having the thoughts of, oh, I'm in a dream. This isn't real. You know, these characters around me are not real. They're not quote unquote real. And that's what I mean by lucid dreaming. You know what I'm gonna do, you guys? My phone is charged enough. I'm gonna unplug this. Put this down here. Put this down here. Stupid computer's making so much noise right now. Merp City. I know, Merp City. So I'm catching up with you guys' comments right now. Josephine, the dream stabilizer. Yeah, you guys, here's the trick with lucid dreaming. I know I'm beating the dead horse on the lucid dreaming, but you're only as good at lucid dreaming as you are with your imagination and your creativity. For example, I was able to stay lucid in one of my dreams. So Josephine brought up dream stabilizers. She said, I wanted to try the dream stabilizer idea. That was pretty cool the way you described it. When I lucid dream, if I'm gonna lose lucidity, the dream rattles and it vibrates and it shakes, and then I slip back into very unconscious observer. But this last lucid dream I had these little chips, or like these little circular things, and I put them in the four corners of my dream. I was in a room, so I put them on each corner of the room that I was in, and they were dream stabilizers, so that whenever the dream started to rattle, these dream stabilizers held it still, so I didn't lose consciousness, so I didn't lose lucidity. And it worked. It was the longest lucid dream I've been in to date. It was pretty amazing. So, but that's what I mean. You just, whatever makes sense to you in your dream is is how you go forward with the dream. Like if it makes more sense for you to fly with wings than like Superman, imagine yourself with wings. If it makes more sense for you to travel to a different planet by walking through a mirror instead of just magically appearing there, then imagine yourself walking through a mirror and appearing where you want to be. It's all about what your mind can make sense of as far as the dream world goes, and in reality, for that matter. Nexodus, welcome. Um, my life as opposed to knowing what's going to happen next. Yeah, that's a good way of describing it, Josephine. Controlling as opposed to knowing. And no, Drew, I have not tried DMT. Though DMT is naturally produced by the brain every time you go into REM sleep. So we all have tried DMT. We just don't necessarily, we just think it's the dream world instead of trying it while you're awake. Is that your computer that's loud or mine?
Mine was pretty loud too.
Stupid computer. My bad, y'all. I'm trying to fix my computer. Lady B seems curious in your dreams, Dreadlife 420. You should fill her in on that. No pun intended. Damn, Elisa, you tried DMT? Savage. Oh, you asked me a question? What was your question? Oh, I don't know what you mean by completely changed, like 180. Lady B, what do you mean have I seen anyone completely change? And Drew, to answer your question, Google it. I don't know. I don't know how to naturally increase DMT. Dimethyltryptamine is what DMT stands for. Tryptamines are serotonin based. Serotonin is created from melatonin, which is produced in your pineal gland. So my guess is whatever fucks with your pineal gland, stop eating that. Like fluoride, for example, calcifies your pineal gland. So don't drink tap water. Get a filter on your shower. Of course, eat more greens and just eat healthier, right? Eat healthier. What else would help DMT? Whatever helps melatonin production. So there's certain foods that stimulate melatonin production in your body, and I would Google those, but I don't know them off the top of my head. Shrooms, or you could eat more shroom. No, we can't. I do not endorse the use of any drugs, legal or illegal, mentioned on my channel are not mentioned from me, and do not reflect the views of the channel and content creator. As a just gonna put that out there in case anything comes up in the future. But Dark Moon 99, you gotta hit me with the questions. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, Lady B, absolutely. People change all the time. It's hard. It's not easy to change, but it can be done. For sure, can be. People are more inclined to be a certain way. have I seen anyone completely change? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I would say yes, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. And Dark Moon, I don't know what your question was. You're gonna have to ask it again because I think I skipped it. Oh yeah, if you want to naturally increase your DMT, psilocybin mushrooms will definitely help you with that. Dreadlab 420, to answer your question, yes they do. Again, I don't recommend them. They're illegal. But they do. There are many states of the dream. Something our living experience is a dream. Yeah, Salavi, that's a good point. It's a very good point. Sleep during the day since I work nights, but I can't remember my dreams during the day. I don't know, to be honest with you. But again, if you're not, the same rule applies to you as everyone else. Even if you're sleeping in the day, it doesn't make a difference. You have to make it a point to remember your dreams. You have to, before you sleep, tell yourself you're going to dream. You have to keep your dream journal next to you. When you wake up, anything you remember, write it down. Even if it's one word, write it down. The second day will be 2 words. The third day will be 4 words. The fourth day will be 8 words. 16, 32, 64, whatever comes next, 128. It's habit. You're not going to remember dreams overnight. So if you sleep during the day, still make sure you're keeping your dream journal. I dream during the day. I don't sleep during the day, but I've had plenty of dreams during the day. Backtracking, comments. Josephine, you should know it's a person changed that could controlling their own destiny. In theory, unless we're all being controlled by a computer system, hopefully not. Lady B, someone said people don't ever completely change. That's why you can't think of anyone. That could be true. That came up in my mind. I was thinking myself, for example, I'm very different from how I was in high school, but I'm also not very different from how I was in high school. I played a lot of sports in high school. I wasn't into spirituality, but I've always been curious about this shit. I didn't see it as spirituality. I've always just been a very curious person, and my curiosity led me into what you see Man of Letters as. And that was never intended to be spirituality. It was just intended to be, I'm going to follow things of most interest. And it led me down this path. So, while I have changed in, what I do from day to day, I haven't changed in my curiosity. So, maybe I haven't changed at all. I don't know. It's tough. Whether people can completely change, that's a fucking age-old question. I would like to think so because I believe in free will, and it's nice to think that anyone can change from who they are because it gives us a sense of control over our lives and ourselves, and if we don't have control over ourselves, then what's the fucking point? So we want to believe that we can change ourselves. And I do, but that doesn't change the fact that I can't think of anyone who has. What I think that's more positive than negative is that people, while we don't change ourselves, that we refine ourselves. So I won't completely change from Keith, right? I'll never make a 180 from Keith, but I will do Keith better than I did yesterday. Does that make sense? You may not change completely 180, but you will refine yourself and be better than you were yesterday. You know what I mean? So maybe that's all we can do. Maybe all we can do is get better at who we are and not change who we are. Yeah, Josephine, exactly. That's actually, I have that thought every night before I go to bed is I can sleep on my back and dream more, or I can be more comfy, sleep on my stomach and not dream at all, but I also have nightmares when I sleep on my back. But it's a risk I'm willing to take. I'm reading your guys' comments right now, and Loathe is just hitting me with some stuff. The moon is an illusion! Damn. Loathe is getting real on us, is diving down the rabbit hole. The same as I was in high school, I have grown and moved to a more fitting location to my interests. I think that's what we do, Salavi. When we get older, I think we refine. I think that's the route we go. We don't change, we refine. I don't know, Drew. It definitely does matter, Drew. Everything matters. Everything matters. Damn. Oh, old and miserable. It's the first time I've seen you comment on the live. Nice to see you here, man. Loathe, what can you tell us? What do we need to know right now in this moment of time? How can we how can we rise above our oppressors, Loathe? Hit us with some knowledge right now, please. Reality must be an illusion. It has to be. There is only one reality, and that's source. That is. Oh man. All right, Loathe. I understand where you're coming from. But you can't just spew out stuff and not give us a way out. You know what I mean? Because I'll listen to anything. When you tell me that we're trapped by the moon, I'm down. Like, all right, I'll hear you out. But if you're just gonna throw out a whole bunch of fear mongering and then leave it at that, it's pretty much useless. And that's kind of the thing that I have with most. I love conspiracies, you guys. Don't get me wrong. I can probably love them more than you do. But one of the things I hate about conspiracies is that they just hit you with things, but they don't like wrap it up. They just hit you with all the fear, and then it just like drop the mic, and then they walk away. Is the fourth pole or North Pole? Elaborate, look. Yes, Josephine, thank you. That's what I meant. All right, so Loathe, if you're talking about the North Pole, I'm kind of down for that because one of my favorite ones is the Hollow Earth theory, and the entrance is at the North Pole, at least one of them. So, okay, so Loathe, are you talking about Hollow Earth? Because careful what you ask for, Dreadlife 420. Careful what you ask for. Loath, are you speaking of the Hollow Earth? Is that what you're talking about? You guys, funny fact, so here's a coincidence. What kind of took me into the conspiracy world, which took me into astral projection, was the Hollow Earth theory, which is what I'm pretty sure what Loath is talking about. So I might have to believe what he's saying right now, because we're tapping into some shit right now. We can't. We can't talk shit, you guys. We can't. You never know. We could be. Who knows what happens after we die, you guys? That's the thing. It's like nervios. Yeah, old and miserable. That's a good point. So here's like here's something to wrap your head around. You have to exist in an illusion, because for something to not be in an illusion means it has to be as it is forever, because truth is unchanging, right? There can only be one truth, because if it deviates from truth and it's only truth some of the times, then it's a lie. Truth must always be truth, right? So if reality is truth, that thing that is unchanging, realness, that's what reality means, what's real and unchanging, that means everything that extends from that reality must be, by definition, an illusion. So this life is an illusion, your dreams are an illusion, but just because something is an illusion doesn't mean it's not real. Because there's different levels of reality. Like you can say this world is just a dream, but if you jumped off of a building and you died, you would die and you would be gone. Like, you wouldn't be here anymore. So it's real in that sense. Protect your eyes when you sleep. Damn, there's some shit going on in the comment section right now. Gypsy Goddess, first of all, hello. Second of all, no, I didn't feel that. And self-elevation. How do you... Love is key, remember, Loath. Hey, Loath, can I ask you a serious question? Dreams. I had a nightmare. Loath, I hope you're listening. I had a nightmare. And in the nightmare, I became lucid. And the demons that were chasing me in my nightmare that looked like obscure Tasmanian devils, when I became lucid, I saw them for what they really were. They were demons. They were female, 9-foot-tall, light purple-skinned, Amazonian-looking women. And I walked up to one of them, and I asked her, "Why aren't you chasing me anymore? What happened? A second ago, you were chasing me." And she looked at me, and she said, "If you only knew what you were capable of, you would devour us." And then she turned away from me and looked back at the group of other demons, who were all ignoring me at this point. What is up with that? Estoy demasiado borracho para esta. Oh, I know all. What's borracho mean? Yeah, what's borracho mean? Drunk. Estoy demasiado borracho para esta. Well, I would say el mismo chakra, but not quite. ¿Cómo se dice buzz en español? Yeah, how do you say buzzed? I press like only 7 likes. Appreciate the chat and his time and energy. Oh yeah. Yeah, you guys, there's 26 of you in the room right now. Hit me with a bunch of likes. I got 0 likes in the chat right now. Ooh, Archons. You're the second person, Loathe. I've told that story to someone before, and they said the same thing, that they're Archons or Acrons, however you pronounce that. And Junior, stay warm, and welcome to the squad. Lilith? Of course Lilith wants me. It's because Lilith knows what's up. Yeah, self-elevation. That, I mean, I had this dream when I think I was 24 when I had that dream. And I was just not able to comprehend what was going on. I literally, the thought was, what the fuck is she talking about? And then I started flying around in the dream. Yeah, for real. That's fucked up, you guys. I got no likes here. I thought we was cool. We had a cool thing going here. Nah, I'm just fucking with you guys. But I gotta look up the Archons because you're the second person that's told me that when that dream comes up. So you guys are hating on Loath, but he's over here dropping knowledge and shit. Old and miserable, though. I like your explanation. That's what I took it at face value. But they didn't seem like they didn't feel like they were a part of my dream. A couple weeks ago, I went lucid when I was convincing the dream character that he was a character in my dream. And he felt like a dream character. And like the energy I got off of him was that he was... But when I talked to these women in my dream, they looked foreign and alien, and they looked as if they were their own thing. Like I didn't feel like they were part of my subconscious. It was bizarre. I've never met anyone in a lucid dream that felt like that before. Going back over your guys' comments right now. I mean, I'm looking at the likes from my phone, so you guys might have liked it, but on my phone it shows 0 likes. I was just talking shit. Don't worry about it. Thanks for hanging out as long as you did, Josephine. I really appreciate it. We'll see. We'll go live again later this week. And in the Book of Enoch, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't dissected the Book of Enoch. It's not necessarily one of the most interesting texts for me. Gypsy Goddess, that's crazy. That's why I subbed to Loathe. All right, Loathe. Came in hot. Loathe, who are you? Loathe, do you want to explain yourself? Can you explain yourself, Loathe? Kiki Lovejoy. It's your first comment I've seen in here. Everyone say hi to Kiki Lovejoy. Thanks, Drew. Yeah, the dream was I keep saying that I'm gonna do a live dream diary for you guys, because my dreams are, all pun intended, out of this world, and I think you guys would get a kick out of them. Wow, I can't keep up with you guys' comments, and they're all such good comments. Oh, it's a good point, Lady Bees. Yeah, why do you guys keep this is like the 4th live video that you guys bring up Lilith coming after me. Like, what's up with that? I mean, I know who Lilith is, but why does she always have to be coming after me? Why can't she be like coming over to burn some trees or kick it or like talk about the secrets of the universe? Why does she always have to be coming after me? Oh shit, Alicia, I hope your son feels better. That's a bummer, but have a good night. Level. Eve. Gnosticism. Liz, or Liz, not sure how you pronounce it, asks, is it difficult to decalcify your pineal gland? The honest answer to that is I don't know. I know how to decalcify your pineal gland, or at least there are some studies that show sodium borate, also known as borax, will decalcify your pineal gland. And these studies also show that ingesting fluoride will calcify your pineal gland along with other soft tissues in your body. But how quickly it becomes decalcified, I don't know. I mean, I would just be bullshitting at this point and speculating. But stop drinking fluoridated water as soon as you can and get yourself some borax, because that decalcifies the pineal gland. Along with healthy eating, of course, lots of water and greens. Reveal yourself, love. Number 71A, but they called me Loath the Ruler Do. Alright. Gypsy, are you drunk right now? I, the dream, so one talk. E. Section 7 Underground. There's someone from Underground Realms on the channel right now.
Oh, yeah?
I hope they really are.
Probably
I hope so. No puedo. Shake my head. Do I believe in the Anunnaki? I mean, yes and no. I mean, do I believe that they were the Anunnaki as described? I don't know. I don't know. But do I believe in a very advanced, intelligent race that was doing some sort of manipulation? Absolutely. The evidence around the planet is fucking overwhelming that there was manipulation of genetic material and fucking structures and shit. Like, there are way too many anomalies that exist that don't suggest there was something significant going on a long time ago. Lilith is your sister. Me and Lilith are homies. You guys don't even understand. Well, shit, Gypsy guys. In that case, I'm down for it. Desires, I want you to turn and look at them for what they are. You usually take control. It could, older and miserable. That's actually... It could. That's a good point. Remember the old and miserable? Okay, left the email.
Oh yeah.
He's on the live right now. Yeah, older and miserable, to answer your question, if they could be representing my wants and desires, I don't know. Like I said, I tried to look at them as far as what they represented in my subconscious mind, but during the dream, they did not feel, they felt foreign. They felt more foreign than anything else has in any of my dreams or lucid dreams. Which gives me a strong impression that they weren't of me, that they were something else. Especially the look that she gave me. She looked straight in my fucking eyes and spoke to me. And it was like she was her own thing. It didn't feel like it was a part of myself, if that makes any sense. But Shargin Sangana, if I didn't hammer the pronunciation on that. Everyone say what up. He or she is new in here. Dreadlife 420, did you just ask the subterranean what their drug of choice was? I don't think they do drugs in the center of the earth, do they? It's a good question. They probably have great drugs down there. We can't see me if your third eye isn't opened. Interesting. Destiny champions petting Black Panthers in your dreams. That sounds awesome. Rashad Butler, to answer your question, that's fucking huge, man. That's a huge topic. That's what do we find in the Emerald Tablets? A whole world of shit. There's like 15 chapters. It's a huge question, man. They trapped you, make it around crafting them into slaves. Damn, shit's getting heavy with Loathe. Gypsy Goddess, explain yourself. Oh, Destiny, thanks. I'll keep a lookout. By the way, you spelled my name by the government. Yeah, be careful of that. Can't be putting my government on blast. That was a weird sound.
Yeah.
Oranges are orange. Grapes are purple. Ross Francois. Nothing rhymes with purple. Schmurple? Hey, you guys gotta stop hating on my girl, Loathe. She's just here to help. Mantis. How can they take myself? I'm a soul rebel. Hey, I don't think the Anunnaki know about Jah Rastafari. Why do men need to dominate? I don't know, good question. Out of balance, maybe? Do men always want to dominate? Take it easy, Drew. Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. Animals upon the research I've done. Felines represent a female energy in your circle. A one-on-one with an exotic big cat would mean you're attracting or going to attract an exotic female into your life. There you go. Love is key to beating the dream. Protect your eyes when you sleep. Loathe, how do you protect your eyes when you sleep? All right, self-elevation. If we're still on, I'll see you in a second. But we're only at 80 minutes. We've gone longer. Anyways, what is everyone drinking, smoking? We're sipping on gin. Sipping on gin? Not juice, though. Just gin. On the botanist. Manablator style. Dreadlife 420 is probably burning that bomba fire. Burning that bomba clap. Southern California. Kimberlin. Self-elevation. Your spelling is way off. Liz, Southern California though, Santa Barbara, if you know where that is. Oh, nice, Rashad. As far as emerald tablets, I've done a couple live readings on the emerald tablets. The last one I did a fairly extensive commentary. The last two, when you can see those on my channel. If you want to see what we have to say on the emerald tablets, you can check those out. But yeah, that's a loaded ass question, and it's gonna take a while. So that's your best bet to find. Tonight's live. I'm kind of letting the subscribers dictate the questions and what direction we want to go in. And so we're not doing readings tonight. It seems like an hour and a half in. Yeah, chakras and chasers. Can you please get that out of them? How the hell do we protect our eyes? Okay, love is key. So protect your eyes with love, you guys. That's the trick. Oh, man. All right, you guys. We're not getting... We're not getting into man versus woman on my channel. No man versus woman. MGTO. All right, you guys. You got it. How can I drink gin? What kind of question is that? Gin is actually one of my faves. Actually, to be fair, if it's a really good alcohol, I'll drink any of them. I mean, none of them taste good, you know what I mean? But combined with the taste and the effect and the overall feel of drinking like a really nice liquor and like what goes into making them, they're all fucking good. As long as you get a really good one. I could sip on a good whiskey. My brother likes whiskeys, so I'll drink his really top shelf ones. Good tequila is good. Good gin is good. Good rum is good. I mean, no one really drinks them because they taste good. I mean, it's fucking 46% alcohol. Like, this shit's not something that you sip on. Or, I mean, it is, but you know what I mean. But shall I go live like every 4 days or so? Probably every 45 days. 4 to 5 days. Yeah, Salabi Studios has the best answer for that. Men are dominated by testosterone as far as hormones go, and hormones absolutely influence behavior. Women are dominated by estrogen because their ovaries produce estrogen. Men, testes produce testosterone. We're physical creatures, and we are influenced by our makeups. So men are going to be dominated by testosterone, and testosterone increases aggressive behavior. It increases dominance. And so it only makes sense that men would be more pressed to be more assertive in the world. I mean, fuck, like, it's just the biological makeup. What, Liz? I didn't quite catch your question. This gin's actually pretty good. It's called The Botanist. No, this video is not sponsored by The Botanist, but I mix it with lime, fresh lime, and some really nice tonic. Yeah, Shargin. That's if I pronounced that right. The open discussions help because I mean it helps me too because it forces me to consider what I've learned and how to simplify what I've learned. And it isn't until you've simplified something that you've really learned it. So I actually learn while teaching, which is the main reason why I started teaching in the first place, was because it's the fastest way to learn something is to teach it. Past life regression, yeah, I have actually. I've done past life readings, if that's the same thing. Why is it human nature to identify themselves with things? That's a damn good question, Junior. Um, it's a damn good question, Junior. Hmm. I would say it's because mm, most people want acknowledgement. I would say all people want acknowledgement. So when you identify with certain things, it's a shortcut to acknowledgement. So if I say, if I want to boast what I'm doing, I can say I'm an author, for example, which is me identifying with being an author. So without saying much, I can tell someone a lot of things about myself to get acknowledgement about myself for selfish reasons or for not selfish reasons. Um, so by identifying with being an author, I say whatever it means to be an author. Writing a book, studying a topic, being published, making money, whatever, prestige, whatever it means of being an author is all said with the simple identification of I'm an author. And people do that with all kinds of shit, like, oh, I'm an athlete, or I'm a college graduate, or me, I'm an author, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a baseball player, or I knit, or I'm a farmer. Like, we identify with things because it we're able to almost describe ourselves in one word, um, but also associate with the people because we want to stay connected. We don't want to feel like we're alone. So we could, when we identify with one thing, we identify with everyone in that group, and all of a sudden we feel like we're part of a community. And humans are very community driven, as far as I can tell from the Stone Age. We've been community driven. Herd animals is what they call it. So that's probably why we lean so heavily on identity. Oh, come on, you guys. I don't want my chat room to turn into man versus woman. Um, I had a dream. Everyone's saying I have a dream. I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will one day be raised in a culture where they are not judged by the skin, but judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Damn, Dark Moon. sucks. Destiny, I've flown in my dreams too using just my hands and not wings, but flapping my arms like wings. That's funny to say. No, Gypsy Goddess and Dreadlife 420. We're all homies here. Different backgrounds, I understand, but come on. Glad I could help, Destiny. Chakras and Chasers, Dream Book. Yeah, keep the dream joke. I've had the same dream journal for almost. My brother got it for me on my 23rd, 24th birthday, and it's taken me forever to fill it. But for probably 3 years straight, I just typed everything out online, but it doesn't work as well. I think it's too easy online because you can type fast, but when you write things out freehand, it's almost like you're making more connections with your brain and your hands, and it takes longer, so you're spending more time with it. So definitely go dream journal over voice. Certainly over voice, and definitely over writing it online as well. Yeah, old and miserable. Thank you. That's what. Man and woman are just physical representations of the law of gender, which is masculine, feminine. And then you could even break man in half into feminine and masculine with the right and left hemisphere, and you can break woman into masculine and feminine with the right and left hemisphere of the brain. We're all the same, yo. It's not one versus the other. It's the two completing each other. It's not woman drags down man. It's not man drags down woman. It's not one or the other dominating. The feminine is very good at a particular set of skills. The masculine is very good at the opposite set of skills, and it's only in a proper and harmonious integration of the two when we create something lasting and meaningful. Bottom line. Taurus and Taurus do not get along. That's funny. Welcome back, Alicia. Or Alicia. I'm not sure if it's Alicia or Alicia. It's spelled Alicia, but some people say Alicia. I'm not sure. Yeah, Slavia. I would like. I feel like it's just better with the community. You know what I mean? Hey, Crystal Caesar coming in hot. Exes Taurus. Truce. Call it truce. Alicia. Dope. Cool. It's Alicia. Yeah. Tobago. I'm going to try and pronounce this. Forgive me if I don't do well. Tobago Ramakutuone. Tobago Ramakutuane. Shit, I need to plug this in. My phone's going to die. How you doing over there, little boo boo? Snoozing? Yeah. Hi. We're just going ham over here with the Armenian flute meditation music. Buenos noches, chakras and chasers. We will see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. We're probably gonna call it quits soon here too, folks. We've been on live for an hour and a half now, roughly, give or take a few minutes. Yeah, they do. They do. The law of gender is one of the laws of the Hermetic philosophy, which I teach. Not all the time, but quite often. And yeah, really the only problem with the law of gender is that people speak in it in terms of man and woman, and masculine and feminine is not about man and woman. It is about two distinct and separate qualities of energy that exist within every entity. That's it. My past life regression was I was at sea for both of them. I went down to, I think it was in Venice or Santa Monica. I think it was in Santa Monica. I went to this spot and they did past life readings there. It was an institute for, what the hell was it? Institute for like a psychic institute, and they did a past life reading on me. It was probably like almost a year ago now, maybe 9. I don't know. Anywho, the first life they did was they said I was a merchant sailor, and I would just sail from port to port, and I would collect spices from all over the known world and would trade spices with different cultures. Like my favorite thing was different cultures and food, and that I would just pick up different crew. Like I didn't care who my crew was. She said I would just go to a port, find a crew there, trade spices, pick up spices and foods, go to the next port. And that was my whole life. They said I didn't have a family or anything, that I was just like this like vagabond spice trader from the ancient world, and that was like what I wanted to do. And then another past life was that I was a captain of a Navy boat. And that one I did have a family, but I was still a captain of a Navy boat. And like she didn't say what country or what, but both past lives came up of me being on the ocean, and captaining a ship, which makes perfect sense because I love that ship. I actually don't captain ships, period, now, but I do love the ocean, and I've lived in like 6 or 7 different cities now, and they've all been up against the ocean, and those are the only 2. That's the only time I've done the past life stuff. Yeah, give me a second for the chat, though. Give me a second. I'm gonna type my email into the chat right now. Hold on, I gotta pull it up. Ooh, Tobago Ramakutoane. Someone asked me that question, who the 7 lords are. Some people say it's the chakras. Some say... It's hard, man. Because a lot of people that study the Emerald Tablets want to read everything as symbolism. And while that's relevant, I don't know if that's always the case. Sometimes It's like, why can it not be literal? Why can there not be 7 lords? Does it always have to be symbolic? But I don't know. Um, we'll do that on another video. See, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You notice how there's 7? I thought about that. It's not 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 and 9, 3, 6, 9 are the 3 golden numbers. Ends in 9, starts in 3. Tesla talks about those numbers, but there's the difference between 3 and 9 is 7. So I don't know. And the fam is doing good, Slavi. Ariana's actually sleeping on the bed right now, getting her snooze on. And little Atlas is coming soon as hell, and probably the next 2.5 weeks or so. Phobias? They could. I don't know. I'm not a past life specialist, but from the studying that I've done on past lives, it seems that phobias absolutely are related to past lives. Wagwan! Wagwan, Josh. Yeah, if you guys want my IG, it's Man of Letters Official. So that's my Instagram. Yeah, Gypsy Goddess. I was gonna do them tonight, but I left it open to you guys, and since you guys started asking questions, an hour and 40 minutes later, we are just kind of BSing, having fun, hanging with the squad, showing face at the moment. But we could read tomorrow night, or actually Thursday night would be better because I don't think I work on Friday. So can you choose what you become in your past life? So Dreadlife420 asks, so can you choose what you become in your past life, or do you gotta do some weird stuff? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that question. The past already happened, so you can't choose what you did in the past life. You can probably choose what you do in the current life, but the past life already happened. Yeah. So I'm not necessarily sure what you mean by that. Hmm. 23. Soulmates. Cool. Well. H. Josh, I'm not sure I understand your question either. You have something about the real Kemet? Kemet? As in ancient Egypt? Is that what you're getting at, Josh? I'm not sure your question. Horlet the Master in other books? No, I haven't. But I haven't read too many occult books from that time period. So Horlet the Master is supposed to be the... I don't know if he's the king of Atlantis, but he's he's this Horlet the Master is the child of the stars that came down to earth to live amongst the children of men. So with that being said, you would have to, I don't know, probably study, who was it, Plato that claimed to have known about Atlantis? Look at Plato's writings and see if he says anything about the ruler of Atlantis, and then you would find Horlet. Other than that, I don't know. Oh, Gypsy Goddess? You talking about Copal? That's funny. Damn, someone's talking about Copal in here, I'm about to grow a what is it? A Berserker tree, which is where Copal comes from, you guys. You don't even know. Gypsy Goddess, are you talking to me? Copal or frankincense? Oh, Dark Moon. One of the people in the room said that I was playing Lord of the Rings last time, and so they had to binge watch Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
Oh my god.
And he or she said, you know that Billy Boyd wrote Pippin's song. Remember that song that Pippin sang? He actually wrote that song.
He wrote it.
The over mountain and under tree. I'm gonna put that song in the background.
You need to cover that song.
I know. I'm gonna do a cover of Pippin's song, you guys. You don't even know. And under tree. That's amazing.
Oh my god.
Oh no, I'm burning my little homemade pyramid candles, but the wick was getting too long, so I blew it out so that I could cut the wick. No, I didn't know that, by the way. I didn't know that.
I saw the light fade from the sky. On the wind I heard a sigh. As the snowflakes cover my fallen brothers, I will say this last goodbye. Night is now falling.
I love this song. And Lord of the Rings. More than you guys realize. Enough to get a Lord of the Rings tattoo on my arm. Shout out to whoever can translate what my arm says. Oh, no, but I should. Ariana just brought that up too, actually. I need to do a breakdown of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. It's fucking... I'll do one for you guys right now. Actually, I did it for the last one. Kind of, you guys. Gandalf. Goes from Gandalf the Grey to Gandalf the White. But what did he have to do to get to Gandalf the White? He fought hell. Like, he fought the Balrog. So the Balrog is that fiery creature that at the bridge of Khazad-dûm, Gandalf faces off with the Balrog. And the Balrog is this general of the demonic armies, the general of hell, in other words. Gandalf fights him, and they fall into a pit where he fights for ever. Right? When Gandalf comes back, he says he makes it seem like he's been gone for hundreds, if not thousands, of years. Comes back as Gandalf the White, almost as if he goes through this purification. The fire is something that always returns something to spirit. So when people do spells and stuff, one of the popular things to do is write out the spell, set it on fire. The fire releases it to spirit, and that's the occult symbology of Gandalf's going from Gandalf the Grey to Gandalf the White. Grey is kind of muddly. It's not dark. It's not light. It's somewhere in between. But he falls into this pit, right? He falls into hell and battles the demon and wins victorious as Gandalf the White. And the first time he shows up in Lord of the Rings as Gandalf the White, he's blinding. They almost can't even look at him. They have to cover their eyes. He's so bright. And that is a time-old tale of going through the fires of hell and having all the impurities burned off. The same way you burn off the impurities of iron ore to create iron. You smelt it. You burn off all the excess so that you're left with just the essence of something. Like distillation. You get the fire, create steam. It distills just the essence of a plant into essential oil. The root word is essence. Just to get the essence of a plant. The concentrated soul of something. And that's what Gandalf the White represents. It's Gandalf the Grey fought the demons of hell, fought the fires, and was almost ignited, burned off the impurities, and he came out distilled into Gandalf the White, much more powerful. Not even the same name anymore. But the whole Lord of the Rings trilogy is filled with occult meaning. The cool thing about really good stories, really good books, is that what makes them good is that they follow natural mechanisms of existence. They have the same symbologies, from your average person to the depths of hell, and they either die or they come out of it twice as strong, burned off of the impurities, distilled into their true form. Every good book will do the same thing. Lord of the Rings does it with all their characters. Gandalf the Grey to White. Bilbo Baggins starts off. That's why it makes it such a good story. Bilbo Baggins starts off as this. He wants to be tidy and cozy and comfy and warm cooked meals, warm home cooked meals, and never anything unexpected. Right? One of the first lines of the movies, he says, "I love visitors, just not unexpected ones." And the first chapter of the book is actually called, maybe it's not the first chapter, but it's called An Unexpected Journey, one of the first chapters of the book. And that's the whole thing, is we're thrown up against our opposite because our opposite defines us. Without our opposite, we are nothing. We have to prove ourselves to be something. So Bilbo Baggins is all about comfort, and then he gets thrown into getting attacked by trolls and fucking landing inside of a mountain with goblins, and he has to fight his way up goblins, and he's always cold, and he's always hungry, and these hobbits like 2 breakfasts. They like second breakfast, but they never get second breakfast because they're fucking on an adventure, and adventures aren't about good things. Adventures are about all the things and overcoming them. It's about being at sea and people dying of scurvy, and then it's overcoming that and surviving in the new world. That's what good stories are always about, and that's what studying the occult shows you, is that there is a certain way of the world that must be undertaken, and great literature shows that. J.R. Tolkien, C.S. Lewis, the guy that wrote Narnia, him and Tolkien were homies. It's the same thing. It's ordinary people facing extraordinary challenges to distill themselves into something that they never thought possible. And the mirror of that, what that's supposed to represent, is the average human. The average human has to go through the same thing. You're all ordinary people, and then we get thrust up against extraordinary circumstances, and we either die or become bitter and resentful, or we overcome those obstacles. And within those adventures are laced these laws, like correspondence and the mental universe, and polarity, and rhythm, and cause and effect, and gender, and they all play off of each other, and they all make good stories because they all make sense. They're all truths. And whether or not you know these truths intellectually, right, consciously, you know them subconsciously, and you know them in your heart. And it makes them real. It makes them understandable. So, long story short, I need to absolutely do a video, a couple videos on Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. And when you say occult meanings, that doesn't mean like magic and sorcery and wizardry and shit like that. Occult just means hidden. It's not, occult isn't necessarily witchcraft and burning incense and doing rituals and shit. That's cool too, don't get me wrong, I love that. But it's bigger than that, right? It extends to existence period. So remind me, don't let me forget that. Don't let me forget about making the Lord of the Rings video, because I need to do that. My lady does not understand why I love the Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is a fucking phenomenal story, you guys. Just from, yeah. Oh, Salami, you read the books? I'm definitely going to be reading the books to Little Atlas. That's funny. I actually read the entire book out loud, The Hobbit, to my ganja plants when I was living in San Francisco. And they came out dank as fuck. Elevensies. Crystal Caesar, have you read Lord of the Rings before? You don't have to read Lord of the Rings. Any good literature book will bring up all the things that I mentioned. I just happen to like Lord of the Rings because I love fantasy, swords and armor and Dungeons and Dragons and knights and castles and shit. I love that. So Lord of the Rings speaks to me. But any good story worth its weight in pages will touch on all these same principles that make it a good story. An unexpected journey. Yes, an unexpected journey. The Book of the Dead, Josh? Google it. I have no idea where you can hear the Book of the Dead. I thought about making an audiobook myself for the Book of the Dead, but that shit is so long, it would take me half a year to make that audiobook. And since I'm not getting paid to make audiobooks, there's no way in hell I'm doing that anytime soon. So you're gonna have to, someone's gotta have it. Someone's gotta have it. Oh, Tobago. When I did the live reading of Emerald Tablets the other day, I reread that sentence twice. Because I do believe it's one of the most important sentences in the Emerald Tablets. For only in the search of truth could my soul be stilled and the flame within quenched. Arthur. I think King Arthur was a real person. No, I have no idea. Probably not. But I have no idea. King Arthur's a great story, though. I like where your head's at. Stand over here. I don't know any good versions, Josh. I have the book in my room. It's actually over there. But was that last one really on for? Under hill and over tree. Kind of want to finish watching The Hobbit now. You're gonna snooze. What is this? Pippin song. In shadows through the edge of night. Jay Lee, good morning. Good night. Do you mean to wish me a good morning, or that it is indeed a good morning, or that it's a good morning despite whether or not I think it is good? Crystal, to answer your question, do I think the writers consciously include these occult messages? Yes and no. I mean, there's a certain what's the word I'm looking for? All right, Crystal, Caesar. There's a certain skeleton that one must follow in order to make a good story. There's elements that one must use. For example, there's something called the hero's journey. And we can Google it together because I don't actually remember everything it was. The hero's journey is like ordinary person, extraordinary events. There's like 7 steps. I can't remember them, but every hero from every story, every period, if it's good, goes through this. So the hero's journey is an archetypal story pattern common in ancient myths as well as modern day adventures. The concept of the hero's journey was described by mythologist Joseph Campbell in his book The Hero with 1,000 Faces and refined by Christopher Vogler, blah, 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 blah. There's 12 stages of the hero's journey. So we'll go over this. The first one is ordinary world. So I'll see if I can put this together with. Oh, this is through the edge of night. This is the one he sings in the Two Towers, Pippin. Mist and shadows. Oh, Twilight. Fuck. I didn't realize there was an actual song for this. I thought that was just a little thing out of the movie. Anywho, back to the hero's journey. So you're asking me if people do this consciously or subconsciously. I think it's both. The hero's journey is one ordinary world. So we'll say Bilbo Baggins in The Hobbit. Ordinary world, he's all comfy and shit. Call to adventure. Gandalf shows up on his doorstep and says, hey, I've got an adventure for you. What do you say? The third one is refusal. Damn, this is actually perfect. So Bilbo's like, fuck that. You got a bunch of grimy ass dwarves. They're eating my food and shit. No, I don't want any part of that. So he says no. The next day he wakes up and goes anyways. The fourth one is meeting with the mentor. Bilbo's mentor is Gandalf. Gandalf is the wizard, the knowledgeable one. He was pretty much the mentor for everyone in the books. But that's the hero's journey, right? And then crossing the threshold. So there's always a threshold that the hero takes that he cannot cross over. And Bilbo's is, I know it better for Frodo and Lord of the Rings, but Frodo crosses out of the Shire into like Brandywine or something like that. And he looks at Sam and he says verbatim, if I step across it was a corn. I remember it was a cornfield, and he says, if I cross this cornfield, this is going to be the furthest I've ever gone from the Shire. The Shire is where they lived, so that's the crossing of the threshold. It's the crossing of his comfort into the unknown world. And then the next one is tests, allies, and enemies. So of course, all the fucking tests, allies, and enemies. They meet all kinds of people, friends and foe. Approach to inmost cave. I'm not sure what that one means, but if you think of Bilbo, he goes into a literal cave where he fights the goblins, and so happens to find the ring, right? Bilbo finds the one ring inside of a cave, following the same pattern of the hero's journey. And then the ordeal. The ordeal is the ring itself. Turns out they have to destroy it. Reward, seizing the sword is what they call it here. And the reward is the booty, or the plunder, or the recognition, or the fame, or the victory. I don't know what the red back means. Resurrection and return with elixir. Oh, this is the ordinary world. The road back. So, I'm gonna write my own book, you guys. I was talking about this with Ariana, but when I'm probably about 50 years old, I'm gonna write a book on par with Lord of the Rings, where I'm gonna create my own world that's gonna be just as substantial. Anywho, to answer your question, the reason why I answer yes and no to why the writers do it consciously, the reason why I say yes is because everyone researches how to write a good story. So they go, I want to write a really good story. I'm going to base it off of previous good stories. Like, you would be stupid not to. So that's why I say yes. And the reason why I say no also is because there seems to be a certain sort of inherent understanding in the human subconscious mind of what makes things worthwhile. And dilemma seems to be one of the things that makes things worthwhile. Contrast, right? So this is one of when you ask me to break down the Lord of the Rings on an occult level. Contrast seems to be one of the biggest factors in writing a good book or doing anything good, period. And what I mean by contrast is that you have to introduce the opposite of something very starkly. And what I mean by stark is very like light is stark to dark. It's like a stark contrast. It's very abrupt. Like you turn on a light switch and it's very abrupt from darkness to light. It's a stark contrast. The more stark of a contrast, the better the story. So with, again, Lord of the Rings, the reason why Bilbo Baggins is introduced as comfy. I mean, fuck. I just, it's crazy you guys asked me this. I just watched this shit fucking yesterday. I can't remember verbatim, but the opening line of The Hobbit is, "Once upon a time there lived a hobbit in a hole," and it says not an ordinary hole full of oozy things, like a dark oozy things, but a hobbit hole, which means comfort. So the first line of The Hobbit is all about comfort and good food and warm. It's setting up the story for a stark contrast. It's setting up Bilbo as someone who loves comfort, who loves predictable things. He doesn't like unpredictable things. He likes to know who's coming and what time they're coming. He likes to know how many people are coming. He likes to know when they're coming. He likes to know the nature of those who are coming. Everything's very predictable. He's a very ordinary, comfy person. So the whole preface of the book is setting up that contrast. And then next thing you know, he's waking up in a foreign land fighting trolls and shit, and he doesn't even get to eat warm food, one of his favorite things. So we know this subconsciously, that interesting stories come from people who overcome very huge obstacles that are in a complete contrast to what they're used to. And that's just the way it is. You're not going to have a good movie without the hero having to overcome something that's on the complete contrary to him. And the reason why, Dark Moon, he's OCD as fuck, which is great. They set him up as being OCD on purpose because they want to really hammer home on this idea of what he's overcoming isn't a small feat, right? Because if he didn't care about comfort in the first place, and then he went on an adventure, like, why is that interesting? Like, that's what he would be doing anyways. So why is that interesting? That's how the world works as far as being a creator. There's a few things, but contrast, you guys, is huge. It's fucking huge. Whether you're being a painter, photographers use the word literally contrast, because when you crank up, so if you guys post a picture on your Instagram feed and you turn up the contrast, what it actually does is it provides more definition to the objects in the photo. And the more definition you get, the more an object stands out, the more it pops out. The more contrast it has, the more it stands out from its surrounding area. Hence, the more interesting it is. So, that's why I said you don't have to read Lord of the Rings, you just have to read a really good book. Any really good piece of literature is going to contain inherently these ideas. And there are 6 of them. There's so many books in it. Classic stories, yeah, Grimm's fairy tales. So Tolkien, the creator of Lord of the Rings, was a huge fan of Grimm's fairy tales and pulled a lot of his material from that. So the Grimm's fairy tales are perfect. So you get the same layout of start to finish, but in a couple pages instead of 1,200 pages. Yeah. Cool. Well, glad This might be our longest. No, it's definitely not our longest. I think I went almost 200 minutes on one of the lives, but I'm pretty tapped out, y'all. It's 10:30 here on the West Coast, which means it's like way into the wee hours of the morning on the other side of the earth. So we're probably gonna cut it short. Cut it there, actually. Damn, Dark Moon, how you gonna hit me with a question like that? That's fucked up. Which do I like better, The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings? I mean, I refuse to answer that question. It's not fair. The Hobbit is wonderful because it's short and concise, so it's pretty much action from start to finish, but it's short. So Lord of the Rings is slower and a little bit more difficult to get engaged into the Lord of the Rings because it's longer and it's a little more drawn out. But because it's longer and drawn out, it puts more emphasis on story and on character development and on the history of the characters. Plus, you're able to stay in the world longer because it's a longer book. Fucking Lord of the Rings trilogy is like 1,250 pages. The Hobbit's only a few hundred pages. So, I don't know. It's not a fair question. I like them both a lot. I refuse to commit. I like them both. But if you were to put a gun to my head, I would probably say Lord of the Rings, because I like the depth of Lord of the Rings. I like the depth. I'm a big fan of depth and a big fan of, like, the Lord of the Rings has a whole world, you know what I mean? It's got its own language. It's got 3 different dialects of Elvish. It's got dwarf language. It's got English, of course, but then it's got the history of the dwarves and the elves and the humans and Mordor. It's like, it's a fucking world. Whereas The Hobbit is just Bilbo, the dwarves, and the dragon. So it's a little more quick-paced, heavy-hitting action. So fine, you fucking got me. I would go for Lord of the Rings. I would choose the Lord of the Rings over The Hobbit. Salabi Studio. Yes, younger children would probably get more out of The Hobbit, again, because it's a little more action-based. Dark Moon? Damn, why you gotta hate for? I didn't like Frodo either, to be honest with you. I thought he was kind of a whiny little bitch. I said it. You can be mad at me if you want, but I said it. I think Bilbo handled the ring better than Frodo did. I like Bilbo way better than I like Frodo. So I'm with you. Sebby, little boy, you asleep over there? I know, I'm getting tapped out too. What do you prefer? You prefer Lord of the Rings or you prefer The Hobbit? Yeah, Sam was the real MVP. He had one of the most epic speeches in cinema history. Sam, yeah. Sam, that speech he gave at the end of Two Towers, I get chills like 9 times out of 10 and tear up whenever I see that video. It means that there's some good left in the world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for. Live reading of Rainbow. Is that your first comment? Live reading of Lord of the Rings? Because it's your first comment, I might have to do that. I was just talking about that. The only thing about the live readings, you guys, is I have to read stuff that's in public domain, otherwise I'll get in trouble. So I have to find out if Lord of the Rings is in public domain. Let's find out right now. Tolkien died on September 2nd, 1973. Unless this law is amended, all of his published works will enter the public domain in the United Kingdom on January 1st, 2044. Holy shit. Damn. So I thought it was, I think it's 60 years. I thought it was 60 years after the books were published, but it's 60 years after the author dies. So, or 80 years after the author dies. So technically, I can't do an audiobook of Lord of the Rings until 2044. Oh, live reading. Lord of the Rings ignoring Frodo. Yeah, Tobago, that's a good point. Okay, I'm gonna answer Rainbow. Rainbow, so if you're referring to the title of this video, I do live readings on this channel of the Kabbalion, of the Emerald Tablets, of various things. And tonight I left it up to the subscribers whether they wanted a live reading or an open questions and answers. And as you can tell, the subscribers wanted the Q&A, so we went with Q&A. And that's what I meant by live reading. Sometimes I do live readings of the Emerald Tablets and other relevant topics to my channel. But Tobago, they should make a movie about Sauron and how he became a necromancer, because in The Hobbit they slipped that in there. But it's not emphasized enough. Like, it's way understated that Sauron was a necromancer. It's weird how they understated that. Also, they need to make a movie about the two blue wizards that exist in the Middle Earth, but they never talk about in the movies. Oh, the voice. My precious. Call him. Call him. I'll do the voice if I do the live reading. Frodo was supposed to be whiny. I know he's supposed to be whiny, but that whiny? Like, that whiny? I don't know. I couldn't hang with Frodo. He's almost, Sam, I can't do it, Sam. The burden is too heavy, Sam. Oh, Mr. Frodo, if I can't carry the burden for you, I can't carry you. And he carries him up the mountain and destroys the ring. I think Sam should have carried the ring to Mordor. That should have happened. Yeah, Sam is the man. Sam is. Yeah, Sam. I mean, to be fair, in the last movie, Frodo says specifically that they're going to be writing songs about Sam. What do they call him? Sam the Brave? As they should, because Sam actually held the ring and gave it back to Frodo without hesitation. And not even Frodo could do that. So, what that means, like what was going on in J.R.R. Tolkien's mind when he wrote that in, to write Sam in as a character that was better equipped to hold the ring, even though Frodo was the one destined to hold the ring, is saying something. And I don't know what that means, but it's worth noting. You know what I mean? Mickey Mouse copyright is coming up soon. What does that mean, Slavia? Does that mean I can do Mickey Mouse stuff? Tired. Alright, y'all. I'm tired as fuck. Need to hit the hay. If any of you guys are on the East Coast still, I don't know what the hell you're doing up at this time of night, but y'all need to go to bed. Yeah, Salavi, they should be their own movie, I agree. Leah, Power of Suggestion, name is good. Please ask something about vibration. Keith's been trying to catch that. Please ask about vibration. I was about to log off and you're about to ask me about vibration. Alright, Leah, vibration. Vibration is simple. Vibration simply means that everything in existence emits a vibration, a frequency that is unique to itself. And the closer you get to the various frequencies, the more you resonate with them. And the more you resonate them, and that's it. Why that's important is because we begin to stimulate our worlds based on our vibrations. So we begin to be transmitters of a certain frequency, which stimulates those synchronistic frequencies in our surrounding area. That's what the law of vibration talks about. Is that good enough? I know, seriously. But yeah, you guys, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate all the love. Josh, I didn't even know you were still in here, man. Yes, everyone has their own exclusive vibration. I got the Lord of the Rings going in the background. Yes, everyone has their own unique vibration. After all, there is only one you, is there not? Which means there is only one vibration that is Jalea, for example. Tobago, thanks for hanging in as long as you did. Slavi, thanks for hanging in as long as you did. Really appreciate it. Old and Miserable, you sent me an email that I wasn't able to read, but I saw it pop up, so I'll check that when I get off. Dark Moon 99, get a day job. No one needs to be staying up this late. Slavi, thank you, as per usual. We'll do Emerald Tablets Friday night. Friday night we'll do Emerald Tablets. Elvish music. You know how some people say they were born in the wrong era? I think I was born in the wrong realm. I think I was supposed to be born in Middle Earth. But Jay Leah, I hope I answered your question before I took off. Elvish music, that makes me happy. Cool. Thanks, you guys. Have a good night, and I will